Of all the big name strikers in the 2000s, one name was bigger than all the rest, and that was Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. The Dutchman made his professional football debut at Twente all the way back in 1996, aged just 17 years old. 6'3", strong in the air, good with the ball and physically strong, Hesselink clearly had a big future ahead of him and soon became a first team regular. Over a 5-year spell at Twente, he made 169 appearances, scoring 76 goals. He impressed so much during this time that he earned a move to Dutch giants PSV in the summer of 2001. Hesselink hit the ground running here, scoring 23 goals in 42 appearances in his first season, still aged just 23. This was to be his most productive season throughout a 5-year spell at PSV, as he found himself sometimes short of goals and occasionally out of the team. In total, Hesselink made 207 appearances for PSV, scoring 85 goals and winning 3 league titles and 2 Dutch Cups along the way.
Young Pyo Lee lofts one for Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, and Jan is the man once again as he collects his 14th of the season.
Going into the 2006-2007 season, Gordon Strachan was looking for reinforcements up front for his Celtic side. The previous season's top scorer, John Hartson, had now left the club, so the Scottish champions were light up top. Hesselink completed a £3.4 million move to Glasgow in August 2006, and a transfer that really excited the Celtic fan base at the time. Hesselink was a player of high pedigree and would walk into a position in the starting 11. Partnering the big man up top throughout the season would be the likes of Magic Zaraski and Kenny Miller, as Hesselink would go on to lead the scoring charts for Celtic with 18 goals in 30 appearances in all competitions. With Aidan McGeady and Shunsuke Nakamura on the wings, Celtic had a strong team at this point and would win the Scottish League title and Scottish Cup, as well as qualify for the last 16 of the Champions League. Hesselink was particularly impressive in Europe, most memorably opening the scoring to put Celtic 1-0 up at Old Trafford in a group game that Manchester United would eventually go on to win 3-2. The following campaign saw Hesselink continue his good goal-scoring form and performances. That summer, Gordon Strachan brought Australian striker Scott McDonald to the club, and together with Hesselink, they would form a great big man little man strike force, netting 51 goals between them. Another Scottish League title was won, and the team once again made the knockout round of the Champions League. Hesselink scored in the round of 16 tie at home to Barcelona to put Celtic 1-0 up in the first leg, before Barcelona eventually won the tie 4-2 on aggregate. That 2007-2008 campaign saw one of the most dramatic title races in Scottish football history, as Celtic made a miraculous comeback from being 6 points behind Rangers, who had 2 games in hand at the start of April, to winning the title on the final game of the season at the end of May. In that final game away to Dundee United at Tannadice, it was Hesselink who scored the only goal of the game to help seal another championship for the green side of Glasgow. This may not have been possible at all had Hesselink not headed home a famous 94th minute winning goal at home to Rangers in a must-win derby game just a few weeks prior. So it's really difficult to overstate just how crucial Hesselink was to this league triumph. The Dutchman was a popular and well thought of Celtic striker, but in truth, at this stage, his career at Parkhead had peaked. Several injuries picked up over the years meant he had slowed down significantly, and he wasn't particularly pacey to begin with. He struggled badly in his final season at Celtic Park, scoring just 6 goals in 32 appearances, and even being sent off just 3 minutes after coming off the bench in a 4-2 defeat to Rangers in August. At the end of the 2008-2009 campaign, Hesselink's contract expired and he was released by Celtic. In total, Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink made 108 appearances for Celtic, scoring 44 goals. At this point, he was picked up on a free transfer by then Premier League side Hull City. He didn't have a particularly great time in England, scoring just 3 goals in 33 appearances, and is remembered more fondly for his name itself rather than his performances on the pitch. He left Hull and played a season in Austria with Rapid Vienna, where he was very much a bit part player all season, before returning briefly to PSV in the summer of 2011. At the end of that season, Hesselink announced his retirement from professional football. The big man also earned 19 caps for the Netherlands national team, where he scored 3 goals, all of which came in a 9-month spell during his time at Celtic, so you'd really have to say that 2007 to 2008 era was Hesselink at his absolute peak.
But they had more than enough on this day. Sneijder finding Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, the sub. He puts it in 3-0 to those visitors, but it was not all Holland. 10 minutes after the Vennegoor of Hesselink goal,
Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink had an impressive career with titles won in Holland and Scotland, a spell in the Premier League under his belt, and he represented his country at both the 2006 World Cup and 2008 European Championships. At Celtic, he'll always be fondly remembered by the fans, and that's a feeling he shares, stating, "When I first arrived at Celtic, I thought I understood the tradition of the club, but I didn't. The Scottish boys helped me. I had to learn, and I was soon addicted to Celtic. I started to understand the culture, and in time, it became like an infection. It's still with me. Regardless of your nationality, Celtic never leaves you."